I remember riding on your shoulders high.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to KDKW Radio Time. Your host, DS Wonk. Joining me today are three men who are great fathers and great role models in their community. Today's show is about Father's Day. It's about sharing your stories about your upbringing with your father, with your dad, and with your kids. Because fathers, everybody got a perception of fathers being this strong man who takes on the world when they leave the house. But it's more to us than taking over the world, taking over everything. And that's why I have these three gentlemen on. I have Howard Walker here, I have Clay Johnson here, and I have Mike Powell. Three guys who I know dearly, family, because believe it or not, they raised me as well. I learned from them by watching. And me and Mike, we might go back since the days of listening to Dr. Dre the Chronic. We go back to the days we played football with Van Hoosen and Rochester Adam. We both played defensive tackle. And I have to lie to myself and say that he was better. So it makes me feel better when I go to sleep at night.
All right.
All right, guys. So individually, I'm gonna start with Mike. Mike, tell us about your relationship with your dad. And I know your dad is not here with us anymore. My condolences. You know, we all lost our fathers, but share us a short story about you.
Anyone that knew my dad, he made a big impact in their lives. I mean, it was a hard loss. Miss him every day. He was a really hard worker, old school, hard working guy. Just, you tell him he couldn't do something, he'd be like, watch, I'll tell you, I'll show you how to do it 10 times better. Saying like someone told me back in the day I wasn't going to amount to much, but I showed them wrong. People's words are one thing, but you, as an individual, you fight, keep fighting.
Yes,
it's not over.
Yeah, I had the privilege to meet your father a few times when we were teenagers. I didn't get a chance to spend a lot of time with your dad because your dad was working, and this interacted a few times. Played football. Your dad was a good man, and your dad raised a good son. I want you to always remember that. And I thank your dad if I ever. I wish I would have thanked your father a long time ago for moving you from Houston to Michigan because we became close, and I appreciate that. June, look, you already know how I feel about Uncle Howard. I'm gonna say it again, but I'm gonna let you start.
Howard Walker Sr. was a very intelligent, strong, well-being father, overseer, root to the family, connected, showed us things that as coming up as kids, I kept wondering why we always, went out and, with the family. And I saw that he was trying to not just do something, but let it indeed in us where we connect to one another. We did things together. We always, every Sunday, we find ourselves playing cards at Clay House or over somebody's house, relaxing as a family. It was something he was doing, but I didn't figure it out till I got older that he was trying to get us to understand that it's important that all we got is family. All we got. And he passed that down to us to connect. And I'm very grateful that I got a chance to not just be close to him, but to learn the things he put in me as a man, because I find myself doing things that he does. Yeah, I go back and I look at things. I get angry, but it's something that he put in us that not to give up. Never give up. Keep fighting. Don't even give up. Dad was a real person that he'd give his heart to anybody. He'd give you anything he got. He'd give his advice. He'll tell you how he feel. He also get angry if you don't set things the right way. That's how Dad was. But Howard was very important to our life. Me and Clay and Auntie and all us was all. I want to go back to a memory where Clay probably remember this. He always wanted to come over to our house, and I always want to come over his house on that Friday going into the weekend. And And we always find ourselves wait till I sneak outside and I try to catch them by themselves. Hey, can I come over your house? And I find myself stuck down in the car, kind of like nobody ain't gonna see me. I just because the only wanted me. I ain't want my other brothers to go. I just wanted me. I ain't want it because I know it's gonna take away what I want.
Yeah.
I found my way, so I'm gonna get Clay. I'm gonna grab Clay, and we found ourselves over my house, and we just had that type of connection, man. Just when Clay, Glennis, Mark, Faye, all we had that where we had to see one another. It was important that we seen one another and we had fun. It wasn't no we trying to boost or stand out. Dad put in our heart, y'all blood, y'all all you got. And I thank him for that. Howard Walker Sr. was the backbone, the root, and I'm so glad he enthused that into me where I do the same thing. I want everybody to be there. I love cooking. I love being outside. I love family, and it's still in me.
100%. The one thing, it's a lot of things I love about Uncle Howard. The one thing that was especially dear to me was that Uncle Howard was one who got me go fishing with you guys. And, that end, when my father passed away and me, my brother, we wasn't around for a certain period of time. And the first two people we seen was Auntie and Uncle Howard. And one thing I learned about Uncle Howard is that you is right. Family is very important. I learned that from Uncle Howard when I was young, when we always get family get-togethers. Yep. And all you guys were older, me, the younger guy trying to tag with my older cousins and my brother and all that. Just not because I just want to go where y'all go. It's because I just love being around you guys because you guys were all I had. I mean, we were just a big gang of family members who just love being around each other. Yeah. And I remember, just coming from Rochester to Detroit, if I wanted to hang around with Mike, I was always around you guys because of Uncle Howard. Uncle Howard, say, be around your family because, this is where you can get all the love and support. This is where your family never turn their backs on family.
I want to go back to where this is going to be far. 1974, we stayed on Wilford. Clay, remember that?
I don't.
Farnsworth. What about Farnsworth?
I was like 4 years old.
I know. You remember Farnsworth?
I got some fuzzy pictures in my head.
Okay. Well, we was outside one day and Uncle Albert pulled up and Charlie and all of them, they had turtles in a box. I still remember this to this day. They all go outside and play with the turtles. So we out there, they having little family meetings inside, they having fun, and we out there playing with turtles, man. And I ain't never seen a turtle. I seen them on TV, but he said, "Don't put your finger in front of that turtle." Now, I'm gonna try. I put that turtle, got my finger, man. I ran that house. Boy, it was something different, man. But the thing I'm trying to get at is that I learned something, not just from the bite from the turtle. I ran inside and I saw all the family in there. I saw them, taking notes and writing down what we're gonna do and just setting things up. It was a family meeting. They had a vice president, they had a treasurer, and they was putting everything together for the holidays. And when I saw that, I'm looking like, wow, it really hit me that how it was so important that families stand together. And they made it in their heart that we stand together no matter what's going on. Even if somebody passed away, they found a way to get the kids in an area where we was doing something. They kept our mind focused on not what happened, but moving forward. It was a beautiful thing because, we lost a lot of family, a lot of things went on in our families, and we still stand strong. They always made sure that we stand strong. We knew who we are. We knew who one another was. And I think that's important with our kids today. We got to kind of get back to where we need to get back, come back to the table. A lot of us got so focused away. We got to come back where family is important. And I mean, we have to connect on it. We might find ourselves trying to push it. We want to give up sometime. I admire Clay. Clay do that fireworks thing. Don't stop what you're doing, because everything you do, that's your mother, that's your dad, that's everybody that implement that mixture in you and just continue.
Uncle Fonz was a standard bearer. I said it on my Uncle Fonz, like it's the greatest man I ever met in my life. Greatest man who could set example about how to be a husband, treat his woman right, raise his kids.
Before I talk about my dad, I just want to elaborate a little more on my uncles. we came from a family that flourishes with men. My mother had a plethora of brothers. And from each one of my uncles growing up, I got something from each one of them, and like with your father, my Uncle Albert, he gave me the inspiration to want more than I already have, you know. And with my Uncle Theodore, he gave me the temperament of a calm man, with my Uncle Lindell, he made me want to think outside of the box and get my mind out of this urban mindset that I could have these things. And but one of the things that sticks out with my Uncle Howard is his positivity all the time, no matter what I was going through. He was like, Clay, you could do it. You can do it, and that's something that I will never forget. It's something that I always try to pass on to my children. Now, when it comes to my dad was a different type of man. He hands down, if it was a man that worked harder than my father, I have never met him. My father was not the type of guy he was going to take you out and play baseball with you and other that. My father worked 2 full-time jobs for years.
Yes.
And what I remember about him is always wanting to be around him. He used to fuss at me like when he was ready to go somewhere, and I'm like, Daddy, I want to go with you. I want to go with you. And he would say, like, yeah, you can come, but you're gonna be asleep in 5 minutes. And sure enough, as soon as I get in the back of that car, I was asleep. And I want to share a story with you guys as a testament on how much my dad meant to me. Um, he used to get off work on Saturday mornings in between jobs. So when he get off work Saturday morning, he would go to sleep and he'd get up about 12. And I said, well, Daddy, when you get up, can I go with you? Because he always used to take me around the corner to the Hollywood Coney Island on Van Dyke and Harper. And he would buy me a chili dog. And when you're a little kid, that thing seemed like it was huge. But I knew if I was asleep, that he would not take me with him. So I took some thread and I tied it to his toe, and I tied the thread to my toe. So I knew that as soon as my dad got up, when my toe started tugging, like it's time for us to go. And I said that because I just to show you guys how much he meant to me, how much I always wanted to be around him. He didn't say a lot of words, but he taught me mounds and mounds of things just by his actions. Real
Right.
soft-spoken man, my father was.
Well,
My father was a man who couldn't read and write, but was intelligent beyond his time, because what I
yeah.
love about him, the things he told me and the things he showed me, because he understood something that I didn't, but I know now,
Right.
because once you interact wisdom with youth, then sometimes there's some friction there. But now I find myself at this age thinking to myself all the time, like, Daddy, I knew what you were saying. Now I understand it.
Yes. Yes.
And everybody loved Uncle Fun. Everybody loved
Yeah,
Yeah.
him. If you did not like my father, then something was wrong with you.
yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Uncle Fonz, when you come over to the house, man, he make you feel so welcome. And the one thing that I always remember Uncle Fonz, that we sit there, we have a conversation about. He'll talk about the Tigers. I mean, he loved the Tigers.
Oh
So
yeah,
he'll
he
talk about
loved the
the Tigers.
Tigers. Yeah.
And then barbecue. And he like, nephew, you all right? You good? I'm like, hey, I'm fine, Uncle Fonz. He's like, hey, you don't gotta go home. You just stay here.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, okay, Uncle Fonz, and Uncle Fonz, there was a point in time in my life where I was upset. Uncle Fonz just talked to me. And he was so
Yeah.
calm, and he just schooled me.
Yeah.
And it was it was just a simple conversation that we had, and I don't even know what I was mad about after that anymore.
Yeah.
Just because his pure presence, we just
Yeah.
calm me, we just talking. And I don't know what I was mad about.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
That's it.
And share a story about my dad that I was a child. Well, I was 9. I used to come home late at night from work, and me and Lando, it was in the summertime. Me and Lando, we would sleep in the basement because it'd be too hot in upstairs. And I hear the keys rattling. I just ran up those stairs, up there with Dad. Dad had this big old Kool-Aid smile on his face, and he had this tubby submarine. Man, me and Lando be in the kitchen with him, and he's like, this was for me, but I just shared. Me and Lando get the keys. But my dad, he was so big on telling us, hey, look, y'all get education, sky will be the limit. Yeah. And I just watch him how he worked with my brother. And he was tough, he was strong, but he loved. I always say that my father has been one of the most biggest grown kids I've ever seen, because we would go to the arcade and we would play ping pong, we would play all these fighting games. He would beat me and Lando too. I'm like, hey, can I get one win, man? That's him. And I remember another time my dad had a garbage bag. I don't know what was in there. And I want to peek in, and I was like, hey, don't go in Dad's stuff. Dad could take this big old bag and he'll go in the bedroom. We come out, he'd be like, all right, I'm gonna take the boy shopping and get some clothes and stuff. My dad did that every weekend. My dad made sure that me and my brother would love every day. Mm-hmm. It wasn't with gifts or money. It was just spending quality time with it. It was just about helping us with our homework, because he took a lot of pride in that. He took a lot of pride of just making sure that not only we was loved physically by him, but also emotionally. He wanted us not to settle for anything. And I remember I just see him working with my brother with his homework and with his basketball games. And he just take us to his basketball games at his UAW. And my dad was the first one who said, hey, man, you got to speak up. You want something. That's it. When I was a kid, I ain't know what that mean. Right. But then when I got older, I knew what I mean. If I want something, I got to speak up. I watched him have a conversation with Lando. It wasn't a day where him and my parents did things together, and I thank my father for that, because some of the traits that I have seen from him when he's passed down to my brother, I picked up on, and I appreciate him for that. What trait did each one of you guys that you never thought that you was gonna get from your fathers that you guys picked up?
With me is my work ethic. That's the first thing that comes to mind when I think about what did I receive from my father. The first thing that popped in my mind is work ethic. Go to work, don't miss days. The working man is the one who wins. That's what my father used to always tell. The working man, it's about getting that check every week. And I guess the second thing is his temperament. I think I received a calm demeanor from him, which I appreciate, which has helped me throughout my life. My father wasn't a man of a high temper, and well, y'all know my mother was, but my father, and that's what I thank God for. I thank God that even with my family now, like, I am the calm for my family. So whatever you're going through, hey, let's call Dad. He's going to calm the situation. So that's the two things that I received from my dad the most: the temperament and the work ethic.
Mike?
I'd probably have to say it's one of those, man, I don't know, just never giving up, family ethics, all that, never giving up. Anything's possible, anything's reachable, no matter how far you think it is away from your grasp. Because there's a lot of things that I've done. I've been a lot of places around the world, a lot of just jobs, and it's the same thing. Just keep moving forward, keep going, don't give up, always be there. You said to the on time. That's one thing you can't say about me, that I'm never late. I'm always there when it comes to work.
Yeah.
I'm that one guy like, man, does he ever take a day off?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I do.
I gotta
It's a
ask
good
you.
day. Never really take anything too serious. Just if work is that hard, if you got a job and it's hard, yeah, it can be hard. But you gotta find is that gonna make you happy at the end of the day? It could be, oh, how much did you make? Well, are you happy? Well, no. Are you making a lot of money? Yes. Are you still happy? No. Well, how do you fix that? Moving forward, like, all right, well, let me try this. Let me try this job. Let me try this or that or the other. And just never really. I'm not saying settle and jumping from job to job kind of thing, but it's always been like a consistent. Hey, consistency is one. That was another thing I got from my dad. Just being consistent, never giving up, and you never really know till you try.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, I got a question for you, man. I've been wanting to ask you this for a long time. Where do you get your sense of humor from? Who was the funny one? Your mom or your dad? You be having a lot of jokes when we was coming up, my guy.
I think it actually, from what I understand, it comes from
Okay. Okay.
all of them.
Okay.
Grandparents, my dad, my dad's dad was, from what I understand, a lot like me. He was, even going to my grandpa, he's the type of man, he grew up in East Detroit, so did my dad. But my grandpa was, he gives you his last dollar, his shirt off, his back, just so you're comfortable. You know, he would invite everyone over and spend every dollar for just to have a nice spread, just to have food, to hang out, to just be together. You know, that's the type of man my grandpa was. He was also a funny man. My other grandpa was pretty funny too. It's, I guess, hereditary for me.
All right.
I guess I got from Howard. My dad was mostly being a man, but being the first son and named after him, it really put a foundation where I had to be at. And I think that's almost like being a leader. And my dad was a leader. He was a person that ambition was so important to him, and the family was so important to him. And I watched as he get up every morning. Dad worked. Dad didn't. I mean, working man. I don't care if the shift was in at 5 o'clock. If they want dad to stay over, dad stayed over. Mom will pick him up. I'm staying over. She'll bring him a lunch, and I see him in the back. Say, hey, dad. He like, love you guys. Got to go to work. That was dad. Dad was the type of person he put his all in work. But he also put his all in family. But work was so important because he knew work provide for the family. And dad stands strong on that. I don't care what anybody else said. If you knew how they called him Yates. Yates stayed working.
Right.
Yates, everybody knew Yates. Everybody, I kept saying, who this guy Yates? It's like, that's your father. They call him Yates. They say, yeah. That was his nickname. That's what they say Yates. That's what Yates do. Yates is that man. I mean, he would try anything. When he bought the first motorcycle, I was so scared, like, Dad, please don't get this motorcycle. He was older. Dad was in his 50s, and he wanted a motorcycle. And I kept saying, what this man want? It was in Dad that he wanted to try something new. I'm going to try, boy, this thing ain't going to beat me. And that's what I got in me is the same thing. I'm not going to let it beat me. I'm going to try it. And he got on that bike. And even though he fell off, he got right back on. He rode to one day I was riding up Van Dyke, and I saw Dad just cruising. I said, look at Yates. That's how he was, man.
Mm-hmm.
He be driving slow, but he said, boy, but I got it. I ain't doing no 80 miles an hour. I ain't doing no 60 miles an hour. I'll stay at 30. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
He'll pull Auntie House. Get it sounded, but I'd be like, you ain't gonna go no faster. That was Dad. And I get that from Dad. I really, the time I had him, man, was just not him, just watching Theodore and Albert and all his brothers and all his sisters, and Auntie and Uncle Edward. It's so much family that to see they all gone, man, it hurts, you know. But he put some in us. He said, "Family is all you got." And I always used to wonder when he said that. And my brother Lon came one day. I was going through, and Lon said, "Hey, we all we got, bro." And that hit me because it almost sounded like it came from the grave. Like, wow, man. He said, "Well, Dad always said it, Junior." I said, "I see why he said it, man." He said, "Cause it's an inspiration to wake you up." He says, "All we got." And I say it to my kids, "We all we got as a family."
Yeah.
And I still say this today was all we got. Now, me and Clay, we still on the phone a lot, and Sean, and I want to come back to that day where we all could just sit at the table, play cards, laugh, and giggle. I just want my kids to see what we did, and I want us to come back to that. And I think we are. It takes a village to raise a family, and we're gonna get back there. We're all trying to make appointments and just pull up. Dad pulled up, Auntie pulled up, Charlie pulled up. It wasn't no pick up no phone and call somebody. They pulled up. And when they pulled up, oh, dang, Dad, they're over here. Here come Dad. They didn't call one of the, I think it's a connection. It was all so quick. We'd be at Auntie house. He come through around the corner. Dad, here come Albert, come another way. He come, I said, what in the world? They ain't calling one another. They just pull up. They knew we at Auntie house. Everybody knew to meet at. We at Auntie house.
Yeah.
And it was important for that because he wanted to see family, friends come together. Every Friday, when that clock hit, I'm going over Marie's, going to play cards. We playing cards, we playing horseshoes, we hanging out, we having fun. We ain't looking at no time. We ain't looking at material. We looking at family, man. That was so much fun, man. I think that's what make me the person I am today. I fight so hard to get family. I'm not even going to plan it. I'm just going, hey, y'all, I'm doing something. Clay do that. Hey, cuz, I'm having this firework. We pop up. We pop up. Some of us don't, but pop up. Quit thinking it's all about you. Pop up.
Yeah. That's the one thing I always love about our family is that it didn't have to be a holiday for us to get together.
Right.
It could be an ordinary snowy, rainy day, Mike, and everybody just be over it. We'll be doing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It was like playing Tunk and Spade. It was like we had our own casino at the house.
Right.
And then you go in the kitchen, you got chicken and fish frying. I mean, it just wasn't just the siblings. You got the cousins coming, like you said, you got the friends coming, but the friends bringing their friends over, and the other people's coming over. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like a one big old small block party at this house almost every week.
Yeah. That's weird though. The thing that really touched me is we was having a function one day and somebody said, "Y'all do this every Friday?" And I kind of looked at them like, "My family don't do that." And I said, "Well, come on, have fun with us." And they see us and say, "Y'all do this a lot." I said, "Man, this is what we do. On Sundays we meet up over here. We play cards. We outside. We don't play cards. We outside drinking Seagram's gin, Hennessy, Christian Brothers, you name it. We out there having our fun and we laugh and we going down memory lane. Somebody line to pull up doing the wheelies. It's just we popped up. We doing what our parents did. We popped up. We got to get back into that because just popping up is so much fun. When you don't plan it, just pop up.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There is one gentleman that I do want to mention. That is my grandfather, Frank Jefferson. I love, just like my uncles and my dad, my grandfather was a great man. I looked at him two different ways. When I was a kid, I thought he was me because my grandfather worked the overnights and he always slept. When he woke up, he's, "What y'all doing here? Go home." Like, dang, grandfather. And I understand because I work overnights, long hours like my grandfather did. And when you wake up, you grumpy, it's like your mind is not really there. You're trying to get your mind right because you got to go to this job and you don't feel like go. But then when he retired, I seen my grandfather. I seen who he really was. My grandfather was able to show himself how he really is when he relaxed. My grandmother used to fuss at him because he'll drink his Miller Lights and his Miller. He got to the point where he just sent me or Orlando or Keelan or Damon to the store. "Hey, go get me a Heineken and go give me a Miller. Don't tell your grandmother. Go put it in the garage, refrigerator in the garage." And he'll go get one. My grandmother was saying she'd be fussing at him. So, "Frank, who got you a beer?" Everybody just walked to the front. Oh no. But my grandfather, when he retired, I understand why he worked the way he did, because he wanted to be comfortable when he retired.
Yeah.
He wanted to make sure that him and my grandmother didn't have to worry about nothing. And they didn't. I mean, they've been in the same house till he passed away for almost since the 70s. And they ain't had to worry about a mortgage. They ain't had to worry about a car. Man, he paid it off. He bought my grandmother Cadillac, took care of it, paid it off. That man worked hard every day. My grandfather didn't care about material stuff. He just cared about his kids. One thing about him, everybody in our family's from the South, Mississippi, Arkansas. And the one thing I always see my grandfather do when he retired was that he spent more time with his brothers, because he lost a lot of time with his siblings because of work, because they either live out of the state or they live on the other side of Detroit. He traveled to go see his siblings. They spent a lot of time together catching up. I mean, my grandfather also gave me some of the love for music, because Earth, Wind & Fire was his band. He still got that poster, the old school radio stereo system still sits in the basement. I love the fact my grandfather loved planting flowers, cutting grass, making sure his house was upkeep on the outside, make sure that grass was green. His work ethic, his dedications to his family. When he retired, he's going to church every day. He did security, worked the parking lot. You know, everybody knew who his brother Jefferson was. And, you know, I was fortunate enough to have a grandfather who was there for me when my father passed away. And I watched him, learned from him. I'm fortunate enough to have 8 men, uncles, grandfathers, and cousins who taught me about how to be a man about life. So I'm grateful for every day. What is probably your proudest moment about your kid?
You know, with me, what I love about my children is that they are all adults. I have 4. My daughter, she's 36, and then I have 3 sons. But what I love about those guys is they all are decent human beings. They all go to work every day. They all support themselves. More importantly, they're in their own house. And nobody's trying to do anything illegal. They understand the same thing that their grandfather, my father, passed down to him, that if a man does not work, he does not eat. And what I'm most proud of them about is that, like, hey, they understand it. They know, like, hey, we got to go to work every day. And they're good people. They got wonderful personalities. They, know how to treat each other. Like, we just recently, I just recently got with those guys, and we were raising money to put a tombstone on my mom's grave. And man, my sons and my daughters just came through where we had more than enough, and that's just a testament to the type of people that they are, man. I am just overwhelmed proud of how they turned out. And I try to tell them as much as possible. I don't agree with all of their decisions, because some of their decisions is based on youth, and I have wisdom. So I try to guide them as much as I can. But hey, in my 30s, who did I listen to? So
Yeah.
But overall, man, they're just good kids, man. They're good people,
Yeah. Yep. Same thing. I have 4 boys, 2 girls, and watching Narisha and watch them all grow and watch they ups and downs. One thing I have to say, they knew one thing is important: person don't work, can't eat. And they knew how I was. You can ask me, but you're gonna pay it back. Don't make it my dad was that type of person. He didn't care. He gave. Dad, that's how Dad was. Me, I'm a little different. I'm gonna give you, but you're gonna give back. I want to make sure you understand something, that this ain't the bank. I love my girls best. They just get what they want. The boys kind of hard. It's gonna take them a couple weeks, but the girls they just gotta cry a little bit, and I'm there. Here, take it. Go, huh? Go. I'm done with it. That's just how I am. And I just got a text just now, Dad, you got any money? I'm like, wow. All you say is come on get it. I always tell them I don't want you have to struggle. Call me. I'm gonna try to do best I can. My dad's the same way. You know, he type person. If he got $20 and you needed 20, dad gonna give it to you. That's how he was. And me, he putting me the same way with my kids. I just can't say, I won't say the word no to him, but I said, come get it. And I went to the gear. So I want my money back. My father's wife, my mother was woo, you get some money from her, she get your dough. What my $10 at Junior? Like, mama, what in the world? That's just how Ann was, and that's part of me. I'm gonna give it to you, but I'm gonna come back for you for it. And I'm so proud of all of them because they worked. They never got in trouble. They never. They was raised where you gonna respect your elders. They always yes sir, yes ma'am. They're not gonna do anything that's not around you that they don't do around me. And that's the way you raise your kids. They know how I am. My daddy don't play. I'm not your friend. I'm your dad. Leave it at that. And they respect that to this day. They respect the dad. You want Father Day? I said, I want you guys to come around. I'm not a gift person. I just want you guys to come around, laugh, giggle, have some fun. See y'all later, and that's it. That's how I am. I love them to death. Yeah.
You know, hey, you gotta pay your mark.
You gotta sign for it.
That's so true. Wow.
Yeah,
She showed had a little book because she had, I'll tell you what's mine. Oh, this is my book.
Yeah, they had me go on the computer and print her up promissory notes and everything. Because she was gonna take you on Judge Judy for her money.
Oh wow, with it.
Yeah, she had the book. She didn't play about it.
I remember I went to the casino with Auntie, Uncle Howard, and Auntie was hitting. Your mom was killing it. And then our money started going low. She's like, nephews, I want you to do. I want you to go to the house, tell your Uncle Franz, throw me something, and come on back. I went to the house, and Mike, I kid you not, Uncle Franz. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
You already knew.
He already knew. Yeah.
You already knew. He's like, my honey must be losing.
Yeah.
Tell everybody your experience by being a dad.
I'm not gonna say necessarily. I guess every father has a unique. So the kids that I call my kids are actually my wife's children. I've been their quote unquote father figure for 10 plus their whole lives pretty much. So I mean the struggles between like, hey, I'm not your father, but you know, do I want to now hear me out? There's a reason why I'm saying this, because it was, I won't say, I guess, humbling maybe to a point. You know, so you kind of struggle with this, like, well, they're not my kids. Well, that's not the way to think about it. My dad taught me better than that. Yes, he did. So now what do I do? Okay, well, they're here. This is their situation. It's not their fault. So what do? I think of everything that my dad has instilled in me as far as being a parent, a father, one day at a time kind of thing. Each scenario, situation. Kids come to me for this, I try to help them out. So yeah, I guess the good thing out of the whole thing, they did get my sense of humor, so that's good. So that's not hereditary. It is.
That's just from being around you, huh?
Yep. So I actually take my comment from earlier. Hereditary? No.
Right.
Yeah, because they're like, "No, are you sure you didn't?" Nope. They just. So there's a lot of things that they've done in their lives that, like my wife will say, "Hey, are you sure?" Because they're acting a lot like you, and they're doing these things like you would.
Whether you're their biological father or not, you're their father. You raised them, you clothed them, you showed them the way, you taught them. You might not be his biological father, but I guarantee you say, that's my dad.
Yeah.
He's been there since you came in their life. You taught them kids more about life, more about anything, more than their real life. I always say, man, pat yourself on the back because, those kids are now a spinning image of you. When they leave the house, they represent you. So kudos to you, man, because there's a lot of men out here who wouldn't do the things you do. A lot of men out here don't want to raise another man's child. But you took that challenge on because you wanted to be with their mother. And from day one, didn't look back. You took that challenge on head on. And guess what? Look who's winning. You. Look who those kids looked up to. You. They can always come to you for anything.
I get it. And that was the point of kind of like starting it out that way. And then it's just like, you know what? It don't matter.
Yeah.
It
don't matter at all.
It don't matter anymore. Or it never really did matter. It's, hey, I want to step up, so there we go. If I didn't, I guess I wouldn't be there. Or, I mean, as bad as that sounds, but it's, no, and I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it. I'd do it again and again and again.
100%, man. That's
the same
attitude.
mistake, make a different mistake. I would still move forward with the kids.
Yeah. Because again, there's a lot of men out here who are single, who wants to be with a woman, but don't want to deal with their kids.
Nope.
Can't be that way. It's one or the other. See, being a man, when I hear stuff like that, it's kind of like, dang, how you want to be this woman don't want to be a role model to her kids. To me, it doesn't matter if the father's in the picture or not. It's about what can you bring to the table to help this young man, help this young woman to be the grown-ups that they're supposed to be.
Right.
That's how it's supposed to be.
As a leader, if you're in a relationship with a young lady and she has children, as a man, you want what's best for those children. You should automatically.
Yeah.
If you have some feelings for that young lady, then you have to adjust yourself, because sometimes, I get it, sometimes when you come into a situation, especially adolescents, they pretty much have their minds made up. So it's up to you as the man, if you love that child's mother, to kind of figure that thing out with them, because that's just part of it. Because if you meet a woman these days and she's in her late 20s, 9 times out of 10, she's going to have a child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
What is about fatherhood change, you guys?
I guess the biggest thing changed me about fatherhood is just stepping up, man, when you need it. And I think that when I'm saying that is we could be, anybody can lay inside and make a child, but to stand in line to be the father, to say I am a father, that's a word that you got to say to yourself, am I a father? Of course. Day and night. I wake up every morning. I'm fighting every day. I don't care if I leave this world. I still was a good father. I was a father. It's a difference from the word somebody say, I'm a father of that child. No, I'm a father. I'm there 24/7, 7 days a week, picking up the phone call. If there's issues going on, I'm gonna be there. That's part of being a father. That's part of being a father. And I thank God for just the opportunity to be a father. People out here having kids left and right, but are you a father? There's a big word from having kids and being a father. To stand in line, to be there, to know when they needs and when they're going through. Not even when they're going through, pick up that phone call. Hey, what's going on? We know what our kids go through. We know how they sound. We know how they walk. We know how they talk. We know when something's going on. That's a father. And I stand boldly just still being a father.
What are you most surprised to learn about parenthood once you were in the middle of
it? I don't know if I had any surprises. I know that May 6, 1990, about 8:05 in the morning, my life changed forever. And when I seen that little girl, man, it's like I can't say that what I experienced was like something that was surprising, because I had seen my parents raise me, and but It's something that I can't explain. When I seen that little girl, and what changed in me was I knew that she depended on me for her very life. So I couldn't let her down. I always wanted her to understand that her daddy is always going to be here for you. You know, that's a different feeling, man. And I have 3 boys, but my first was my daughter, man. And when I tell you, that's a feeling that I could never explain. That's a way of being in love that you couldn't even imagine. And
Amen.
even to this day, my daughter's 36 years old, and all she has to do is say, "Daddy."
That's it. That's it.
That's it. That's
That's
it. Now
it.
my sons, I'm a little more harder on them because they're
Right.
men,
Right.
But my daughter, man, whatever she get from me, I don't expect it back.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah. And
Same.
I'm always gonna be here for her. And I told her that the other day. I was like, as long as I could suck breath, your dad is always gonna be here for you.
And the girls are different. I have to say, like you said, I done bought my daughter 5 cars, man. I keep saying how she tearing these cars. The boys, they good with cars.
See, I don't have that kind of money like my cousins.
No. I just bought her a car yesterday. I bought her Impala, and the expression on her face, man, it's life changing. I don't care what man or what guy. Once you see your child going through and you get them something, that expression on their face, $1 million couldn't replace it. I love it. I enjoy it. It brings so much. My dad that's Howard Senior. I have to say, I get that from him. Dad was a person who loved cars. He gave them out if he had them. That's just how Dad was. And I my head's off. I'm just a giving person. I can't help with my kids. Hey, come get it. I don't care. It's nothing to me. I've been there, and I want them to have a good life, but learn from what we're going through. Cause we learn. My dad gave us all we wanted. Dad gave us anything we wanted. But I want them new shoes. Ooh, them shoes coming. Them shoes coming. Dad didn't play. Dad, boy, get them boys they want. Get the girl. He gave us what we want. I sometimes be like we spoiled, but we were spoiled. And I do the same thing to my kid. I can't stop. It's something in me. Cause Dad, I need you. Come get it, girl. If I got it, that's just how I am. We just as a family, we as Walkers and Johnsons and all us connected. One thing I had to say about all us, we are fighters. We don't give up easy. We don't throw in the towel. It's just something in our blood. We just don't give up, and it's in our heart that we not gonna be the type of person like, man, I'm just gonna see it and just let it go. No, we just not in us. We gonna fight it. We might go through it, but we gonna come out on the other end and say, that's that Walker, that's that Johnson, that's that blood. That's that family. We're going to get ours. I promise you. It might be a couple of weeks. It might take a year, but we're going to get ours.
Yeah.
Kids, cars. I thought I was doing good when I'm like, all right, here's your authorization code. You can go get yourself a car at the local rate.
I can put.
I thought I was cool. I was like, all right, I got both of them. I got brand new cars. They bought them themselves and everything. And I'm like, here's code. I'm like, yeah.
My son give my daughter some gas money. But,
Right.
I got to go to my daughter's car to get a coffee cup. That is mine, and I've been looking for months. I said, "Oh, wait, hey, where's the coffee? I'll take your coffee. I have two coffee cups, and I switch them. I have coffee on the way to work every morning, and I got one. I don't know where the other one is. Oh, I do. It's in her car.
Right.
Like, you need to empty your car out and get me my cups and Tupperware and everything.
Yeah. My son got his first apartment. He moved back to Dallas, I want to say about a few months ago. He was determined. He was determined to get a place. He had his own plan. Me and his mom, we didn't like his plan, but we believed in him. And he did it. He got it. He started working, got his own apartment. He was happy. And I cried because I was so proud of him.
Right.
One, I didn't want him to leave. He learned from me and his mama. He learned from me. I was working 3 jobs when we was living in Texas. He watched me, and he started doing that. And I'm so proud of LeBron because he is paving his own road. I taught LeBron to be his own man. Me and his mom did. And I was like, I never want you to follow nobody ever. Make your way, trust in God, believe in yourself. You're gonna be just fine. I don't, as a father, even as parents, we don't try to guide our kids the wrong way. We try to guide them the right way. And man, it's that I'm so proud of him. So I'm happy for him. And I just like us, because he's a boy. We told him I need my money back, man. My money back.
Get your dog.
I need every single penny. He was like, what if I don't have it? Pop's gonna come down to Dallas. I'm gonna do a shake up. Hey, Mike.
We really try to make sure we're together for holidays, not just holidays, but sometimes just a random Wednesday, so to speak, as I would say, like holidays. I don't know, maybe it's because of all the traveling, and when I was in the military, I was always off and gone, and I always said, like, I got to try to establish something. And it's like birthdays. It was like everyone wants to celebrate a birthday. Everyone wants to celebrate a holiday. Holidays are great. But one of the things that I had always thought to myself was the random, I call it, it's not just always on a Wednesday, but I kind of call it like a random Wednesday. I want to hang out with you on a random Wednesday, not Christmas. I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to hang out for Christmas, but it's more of a like, hey, it's Tuesday coming up. Let's go do something. All right, let's get together. Like you're saying, hey, they pull up on what day or whatever. Doesn't matter. Didn't get a phone call, you're here. Kind of like the same idea. Like, hey, Thursday next week, we'll come over. I'll put some stuff on the grill, hang out. Hey, there's a football game on. Let's watch them play. Or there's basketball, whatever. Just trying to get a random day more so than not going and established just to have that.
And that's understandable. I try myself, same thing, where I call one of my boys, hey, what you doing? Hey, come on by. The one that I know that, and I said another thing, we know who our kids are. The one that I know that's going through, but I want to bring him around to get him to see some things. And I bring him over to the house just so I want to get in his head. I'm trying to see where you at, but not trying to be in your business. Because one of his brothers might call me and say, Dad, he doing this, he doing that. I don't want to put it out there like that. I want him to come to the house, open up to me, and let's talk about it. Let's get through this together. My kids are very like me. I don't want my business out on the street. They don't want people knowing all their business, what they're going through. But come to daddy. Come talk to me. Don't shut me out of that. And that bothers me when you shut me out. And I feel like I don't think we should do that. I'm glad we got to the point I've talked to all my boys. Don't shut me out. Come talk to me. Because I'm gonna tell you, God gonna give us an answer. Because you gotta put God first. He gonna give us an answer. And I don't want my kids to feel like they be implemented where they have to hide things. I don't want my kids like that. Come talk to me. Get some invite. Get some insight. Come talk to me. I bring that one to Constance to come by every Wednesday. I sit down and talk. I try not to talk about business. I try to get them to see it's more than just material. It's more than just what's going on right now. It's about what's in your heart. And that's important to me. And I try to keep that infused. That's so important that we do that as fathers, that that one is going through. Bring them by the house. Let's talk. Or, it could be bring up a ball game, bring up a barbecue. I want to get in your head. I'm not going to let you think I'm getting in your head, but I want to know what you're going through, and I want to try to help you through it. And I think that's the best way as fathers. We do that. It's so important that we get in our kids' head, but we try to find a way easy.
Wow. What is the perfect Father's Day gift for you?
Leave me alone. No. Stop asking for stuff.
Clay?
I think it's
okay. What's the perfect Father's Day gift from you and your kids and you?
That's when I'm all here. I think Purpose Day and me, Father Day, all of them being in the same room with me. That's the best Father Day gift I can ever receive. It's all of them in the same room with me.
Okay.
Well, with me, man, I've been doing the same thing for like the last 10 years. I want to barbecue up a lot of food. I want to have like a Thanksgiving in June and have my kids come over and pin a lot of money on me.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
Hey, and of course, in true Johnson and Walker style.
Say it again. That's it. That's it, man.
Yep.
That's so important.
That's it.
I just want to make sure something got there for my dad. I never missed a Father's Day. I always make sure I got him something. And I couldn't get reached nobody to take something to my dad. Just take it to the house, man. Just go buy it. Dad loved us. Just take it to the house. And one person able to do it, and that was Rosita. I said, take dad this here. Know what I'm. And she took his cologne he liked, and she pulled up. She said, Junior must be thinking about me. And Rosita said, wow, your dad, the expression on his face. And went about to get it. Said, Junior knew. It's just that thought, man. That moment. He just Junior thinking about me. And that's so important to us, man. It's a small gift. It's just that you're out of town, you're away, you can't see their face, but you want to make sure that Junior tried. And that's it. Laugh, talk. He's always a way he can just say one word and it ease your mind, man. Everything just goes still like Junior, and it's gone. Everything I'm thinking about is gone because dad and mom just knew that right word to say. And us being parents as they now, I try to put that same dues in me and my kids. I just hope I can come up with the right words to ease your mind.
I just want to ask you guys in your own definition. What is your definition of Father's Day?
Love and happiness.
Yeah.
Love and happiness.
Love's in there. That love that. All the things they think I'm doing wrong or right or whatever. Something it comes back somehow. Love. They may say something that you're like, oh, yeah, I put a tear in my eye. I said that to you how many times? How many years ago?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
That like, oh,
yeah.
Well,
all right, I did something, I guess.
Yeah. With me, it's appreciation from both sides.
Amen.
If from a son standpoint, that day gives me the opportunity to let my father know everything I feel about him that I haven't told him during the year when he was alive. That's how I looked at it. And as a father, it gives you the measurement of what type of father you are based on what happens on Father's Day. And if your Father's Day is productive, you like, okay, you know what? I did a pretty good job.
I want to thank Howard Walker, Mike Powell, Clay Johnson for coming on. And to all the other fathers out there and our family, our friends, want to wish everybody a happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share our show. I am DS Wall. This is KDKW-DB Radio. And we bring love back to our communities and to the culture, to the family culture. So make sure you guys tune in and support your brother here. Peace and love. We out.
I remember riding on your shoulders high. The world looked different from that point of view. You never let me see you tired or cry.